But like I said, I spent time with the family. Went on a trip to Mexico, Puerto Rico with the fam. Went to LA twice. So just seeing some water and just being able to chill down, that was good.
Was seeing water important to you?
Yeah, water real important. We don't get that too much in Atlanta unless you're going to a lake. But everybody know about Lake Lanier. Can't do Lake Lanier.
Or Sunday when it rains.
Right, none of that. I need to see that ocean water.
Does it feel different this year just because of all the talent that's been added to the roster over the offseason and the expectations that are on this team?
I feel like, going into each year, you always go in with, high standards, happy with all the pieces on the team, no matter who on the team. So, this year is definitely a fresh start, new faces, a lot of new faces on both sides of the ball, even on the staff. So it's where we all put it together during camp.
When you look back at your year last year, what did you take from it and how it went? I mean, you personally and kind of being more of an established number one versus what you are expected to be this year?
Really just work, putting in work, trying to stay healthy throughout the whole season. But, just not really listening too much to the critics and nothing like that, just going out there every day, doing what I'm supposed to do on the field and off the field. So
Did you get caught up in that a little bit last year?
I never do.
Well,
of course I see it.
You just mentioned it, so.
No, like I'm saying, like I can't get caught up in it, so of course I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
It's 2023. Everybody got the phones and media, so it's hard not to see it, but, just being able to turn your phone off and keep your head down and continue to work is the best thing to do.
What time did you get here? Did you know who was the first one to get here? Drake said he was delayed because of the wallet. He couldn't find his wallet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who was the first to get here. I know what time I got here.
What time did you get here?
8:50.
Perfect time.
What time did y'all have to get here?
8:50. 8:50. Yep.
Anyone you were super excited to see? Tyler Rozier, who were you excited to see?
Michael Pruitt. Yeah, we had him last year. I just seen him in the locker room. He was my locker mate last year, right next to me. So I just seen him back on the team. So that's something I'm happy about.
Did you learn anything last year, just having to go through all the injury issues that you did? Is there any kind of silver lining you could take from what you went through?
Just trying to do any and everything to stay healthy, like yoga, like I said before, just doing yoga, continuing to stretch, doing a lot of prehabbing, ice baths, Epsom salt baths, and just staying in the training room for good purposes. Just trying to be ahead of the injury-prone list, stuff like that.
What's kind of your favorite part about the start of training camp? Is it that kind of like refreshed, I feel great going into it, seeing the guys?
Yeah, like this is my first and last day of feeling good for the season, and I know that. So, like I said, just trying to keep the body right because I already know the aches and pains and the soreness is all on the way. So, just trying to. It's always happy the first day, and so and after, but today is always gonna be the special one.
You ready for the heat?
Yeah, I'm. Atlanta breed. I've been in it.
Y'all added a lot of veterans to this roster, but also a lot of young guys. How do you see those veterans kind of taking the leadership role and coaching those young guys up?
It's gonna be huge, really. Including myself. I consider myself as a veteran in the back end. So, with Calais and everybody, Grady down there in the bottom, and our linebacker level, our backers and our defense. We got veterans at each position, really, defensively speaking. And like I said, right now in camp is where we put the molding down.
We know Desmond and some of the receivers got together. Do any of the defensive guys get together in the offseason?
Yeah, we train with Oliver Davis at SFSP. We got some of the guys to come before they had left and went to their respected states, but they came in. We had at least about eight DBs all trained together, so we get it in. Pause.
This is really the third straight year. This is the third straight year you're gonna have a different starter opposite you.
Say it again.
This will be, I think, what, the third straight year you're gonna have a different starter opposite you. Technically, maybe even fourth every year. Does that matter at all at corner?
Of course, going to each year, you always want to, come in with the corner the year before prior, but you know how the business is. But I'm excited with all the guys I've played with, from the veterans when I first came in to now playing with Okuda. So hopefully we can keep the duo going for a minute and, just build a relationship.
The fact that you all are more the same age than a guy like Hayward is, but 10 years older than you, more or less. Like,
right.
Can that help in some ways? Or?
It can help. You got Casey was more, he was big bro, but we had a lot of similarities, He wasn't an old head, nothing like that. But, definitely coming in with Okuda, same draft class and things like that, we definitely push each other a different way.
How so?
Just being hungry still, just got a lot to prove.
How long have y'all known each other?
High school, a lot of the camps and stuff growing up through high school. That's where we met.
You remember the first time you saw him play? What you thought of him as a player? Any conversation y'all had at those camps?
Yeah, first time I saw him was actually here in Atlanta. We had a 5-star challenge for the Under Armour camp.
Yeah.
And he was the top-rated corner in the, all through high school and college. So, he always been solid.
So you're always, I imagine, measuring yourself against whoever that guy is when you go to those camps. What'd you think? How'd you think you stacked up that day?
I stacked up good. I actually just sent him I want to say a month ago. I had sent him because on YouTube they got our one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And I was sending him how, I worked, what we was doing in one-on-ones, and we was getting beat and we was winning some reps, but technique was awful, But now we here and it's a blessing.
Hey Jay, is there a different feeling coming in this year? You obviously have been together long enough now. You've added some pieces. Is there kind of a little more expected right now? You guys feel?
Like I said before, just being here together. Right now is the most important part of the year. Building with each other through camp. So we just laying down the foundation right now.
You were kind of talking about being that older guy and more of a leader
Yep.
in the meeting rooms. When did that transition happen? When did you go from kind of younger guy learning the ropes to, hey, I need to take more command? Did that happen over the course of last year, the year before? When did that happen?
It's slowly come up on you quick, but mine came a little sooner because of a lot of the pieces that we let go of. But I say mine, I felt like it came the start of my second year, and just building off of that right now.
All right, guys, that's all the time we got. AJ,
Okay.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Good to see you, dude.